What's up, guys? Welcome to Real Beats. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make mirror chords to make full chord progressions. If you guys haven't subbed already or turned post noise on, make sure you do so because it does help out a lot. So let's hop right into it. So first things first, let's just grab in a scale. So I'm just go back to my default so it's easier for me to kind of put these things down while I'm explaining it. So I might use like a, let's go like a G. I usually do F sharp, but try to do something a little different. So we got our G minor in there. So first things first is I'm just go through the sound selection. All right. And I might make a video on it. So this is from an engineer kit. Then we got Analog Lab. It's a synthwave bank. All right. So I'm just go through and you can just look and pause if you want to, if you hear something you like. Okay, then we got a flute. Just trying to go. Okay, another bell. And the key. And then this is a bass. Yeah. So you don't need all these sounds, but I just have all these. So let's go ahead and get started on our chords. All right, so now we're gonna do our chords. Now this is the most important part. So this is the actual technique I'm gonna show you right now. So first things first is always just find a series of notes that you like for the bass. Start your root. Now a lot of my videos overlap one another, meaning I don't really talk about a topic unless I've talked about it previously. So you should know this stuff if you watch my vids. But really just find a bass line. The root note is the first one. So from there you just fill it in and then use the thirds method and stretch this out like that and make this a little bit larger. All right, now this is where the mirror method comes in, because if you don't know anything about songwriting or anything, basically what you're gonna do here, well, let's just play this first. All right, so most people, what they do, which is completely fine because I do this too, is do this. But that's, in my opinion, is bad songwriting because it's not a full, I guess, story, quote unquote. It just sounds like you're repeating a question, right? Like you keep asking somebody the same question, right? In the same tone. So what you do is do the mirror method, right? So all you do is just take the first one, right? So you just do this pattern, but backwards, right? And stretch this one out. So now it's gonna sound like a complete little melody. Right, doesn't it sound more like resolved now? So with this being said, you could just make some chords, but I'll make it easier on you. We can just make partial chords. So what partial chords are, basically, if you made a chord and you just took one of these notes out. It's up to you if you want to be creative. Now, being creative, how to do that, being creative is watching this video. You see me do something like this, right? Now, when you're making your melody, this is how you be creative. You say, okay, well, instead of doing this, I'm gonna put this here. Ooh, maybe I'm gonna do something like this. Yeah, that's how you be creative, okay? But I'm gonna just keep it simple, and we're just gonna do something like this. And then the same thing, just. And then from here, let's just take this bottom, pull it down an octave. Why is this on the F? Could be in the G. All right, so now let's go over here to the second part. And you could pretty much do the same thing, but let's be creative this time. So let's copy this. And make sure I zoom in so you can see the notes. So now, let me find a shorter note. Okay, I did this the hard way. Just copy that over. So now this is being creative. This is the variation. You just is being creative. So now all you have to do is make a chord from some of these notes. So say this one, this is a full triad chord, right? What you do is take this out. Boom. Now you have variation. All right, same thing over here. Boom. Now you have variation. As simple as that. And if you want to, you could do something like this, or you could take notes from your other stuff and put it as your bass line. So let's just make one from scratch down here. And then let's use that over D sharp. Just copy it over. All right, and this is being creative. All right, because I probably don't show enough of that, of what the thought process behind making this stuff. So let's play it one last time through. Hear the whole thing. All right, so now let's move on to copying it to the other instruments. All right, so now let's just copy it over to our original sound, the ARP. Here's the sound, it's called Slippery Slope. And then we got this one, Poly Driver, and then probably this one. Yeah, this is a pad. Let's play it all together, and let's pull this one up because this might be way too low. All right, and here we go. Okay, so that's the copying process. So now let's move on to like actually making a melody. All right, so now let's do the melody. Now, what we can do is actually let's copy this or cut it, put this on a different pattern. And now we have a blueprint in the background of where to place things. And I have to be careful now to where I'm placing stuff so that you can see. So now we're gonna make a melody using this as a blueprint. All right, and you might need to know a little bit about the notes because we don't have the scale in the background now, but you can flip it if you need reference. All right, so let's make these notes a little shorter. So now from here, all you got to do is just put these notes. You don't have to do every single part, but you can kind of switch it up. Right, and that's a quick way we can make a melody. Just move over to this part and same thing. And you can see I'm gonna try to keep the same rhythm. If you notice, I'm always starting on these notes, right? And I'm ending on one of these notes. Right, so it's kind of in harmony, but you can kind of take it wherever you want in the middle. Now let's do this part. Yeah, okay. It's kind of getting confusing for me. So let me zoom in. Okay, so now it's the same process. Let's try this one. Again, this is the creative part. All right, I want to show more of this creativity in the vid. So instead of just putting it on this note, you can kind of go up, or you can use this as reference, but any of these notes will be in harmony. So, but I just felt like putting this there. Right, and then that's how you get cool sounds like that when you start doing weird stuff. All right, so I'm gonna do this last one. Okay, so there's that one. So now what we can do with this, now this is more on the creativity side. You can kind of offset this a bit, right? All right, so now let's move on to our next set of instruments. Okay, so now from here, you just have to variate some of the melodies that you have. And you know, you could choose the chords if you want to use them, but I'm gonna just keep everything simple and keep it with this melody. So basically we're just gonna copy this down, and then we're just gonna stretch out a few of these notes because this is a flute, right? You know, make sure y'all see what presets it is. Is the VHS flute. So you just stretch out a few notes, and I'm gonna just fast forward through this part, but I'm just go ahead and stretch some of these notes out. All right, so now we're done stretching them out, and what I'm gonna do is just copy this down to save some time to this note, and we can just listen to these alone. So here you go. Simple as that. All right, so now let's move on to like a little counter. I guess we could do a little counter, even though this kind of is a counter, but we could just do one here. Okay, so now let's do our counter melody. You don't need one at this point because everything sounds full. All right, but I'm gonna show you how to kind of fill in, and you can see it. Like if you see, there's space right here. You know, there's plenty of space for more sounds. So let's see, make sure we're in the right thing. So now what we're gonna do is basically let's offset it. So we could just do like them in this little bar. And actually, let's go a little smaller. So what we can do is just make like some, I don't really know what they're called, but I just call them like little arps. And you can just kind of go all the way down. And let me turn some of these off so we can hear them. And you can just copy them over. And this is like the cool little sounds you hear in the background of melodies and stuff that you're probably always asked, like, what sound is that? Blah, blah. This is the type of stuff that you can do to kind of get that effect on your beats. So let's move on to this little bar here. Same thing. And you can start anywhere you want to. I'm just start in the middle. If you want to start up here, you can. It's up to you. So let's see. Okay, so I might fast forward through this part, but I'm gonna show the whole thing. So I'm gonna just go ahead and do these, and I'll put these on the grid this time. All right, just to show some creativity, like some variation, to show that you don't have to always put it how I did it, right? Because I think when you're a beginner and you see somebody do something in the video, it's like ingrained in your brain that you have to do it that way. So I'm trying to show y'all that that's not necessarily the reality on how you do things. So I'm just go ahead and do this. Okay, so here's this last part. All right, and I just changed up the snap to step. All right, just to make it a little bit easier. All right, so that's the counter melody. Now let's move on to the bass. Okay, so now this is the last part. This is the bass. This is pretty, you don't need this. I think pretty much done. We use the method to the fullest here. So we can go in and you just copy these notes. And then I do want to switch it up. Let's pull this to that A. Where's that A sharp? Right there. Control L. And then we can just drag this one out. And then what I like to do on like this style, you have to press Alt U, you can chop them. And then you have something like this, and then you can kind of just create some groove by adding a few notes in here. All right, that's if you want to do it, you don't have to. All right, so who's the full thing? Some overlap somewhere over here, but you know, that's post-processing stuff. All right, you can also, there's so much more you can add because of this in between. All right, so we can there's so much more we can add if you wanted to. Right, we haven't even touched, if you look, we haven't even touched this middle part. So you can add way more sounds in this, all right? But that's for another video, but that's gonna be it for this. If you wanna hear like a beat, I'll probably make a beat after. If you wanna hear the beat, it's gonna be at the end of the video. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. Make sure you guys like and subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.